So, alrighty, folks, today I have the pleasure of speaking with the Texas State champion, a two-time first-team safety. He has the ability to get lower than anyone on the field and play with a noticeable chip on his shoulder. From North Crowley High School in Fort Worth, Texas, safety Gaylon McNeal. How are you today?
I'm good, man.
Good. It says here, from my information I got, you're obviously a DB from a stellar high school program in North Crowley. Looks like you guys in the next dynasty to kind of take over Texas, from what I see.
Yes, sir.
Uh, Looks like you guys had kind of a rivalry going on, maybe not necessarily, but with Duncanville. I understand you guys, the last loss you guys had was to Duncanville last season, and then you guys just went on a terror. So I guess why don't you tell me about what it was like losing to Duncanville and then essentially just ripping everyone apart the following season?
All right. So for me, this all kind of started 2025. Like this all kind of started our freshman year, because we scrimmaged them essentially in at the beginning of the season, for freshman year, and like it was just good on good all across the field. And then you like you said last year, 52-10. I wasn't able to play due to like a minor knee injury, but we came back this year, handled business. I give all props to my DC, Coach Gates. They really like got great minds and stuff. So they put a game plan up, and that's what we followed.
Yeah.
We needed a couple of adjustments, but that's what we're gonna need against a great team. Good on good.
Coach Gates sounds like he's got some quotes. I've got a quote a little bit later here that just was absolutely incredible. But it sounds like from a player's perspective and the way he's able to line you guys out on the field, you guys just do your job and do it extremely well. I've never seen a group that can gang tackle as well as you guys. I mean, once one person gets their hand on the ball, it seems like there's 7 or 8 of you guys, as many as you guys can get on that person. What is it like kind of learning how to gang tackle in that aspect? And is that kind of the main focus on just slowing them down and waiting for everyone else around you?
Yes, sir. So, well, what we were like well rounded to all year was 11 hats to the ball. That's kind of the motto around. 11 hats to the ball. If someone is having a problem taking them to the ground, everybody get on them. ASAP.
Ace, yeah, I like that. I like that. You had 9 D1 offers out of high school. I'm just going to ramble them off real quick. So you had Wazzu, Grambling State, UMass, Miami of Ohio, Old Dominion, and then a couple back home. It looks like Prairie View, Stephen F. Austin, Tarleton State, and Tulsa. What led to your decision of coming all the way from Fort Worth to a small town like Pullman?
Yeah. So what kind of led me down up there? First of all, Coach Malone. He been with me like since spring, man. Been thugging it out with me, and I just want to say when I came up there, Coach Dickert, he did pay a lot of attention to me, as far as a football player and off the field. He taught me he told me some great things, but what really did lead me up towards Washington State was just the town, how they were like well rounded around just the school, and football. I really love that type of love.
And that's one thing up here, at least from my point of view. I don't think there's better fans that'll at least rally around. There's also some bitter ones. I'm sure you've seen that aspect of it. There are some bitter fans, but once a Coug, always a Coug, in my opinion. And if whoever moves on, moves on. You can't help but wish everyone the best, and that's at least how I'm going to be. On my sheet, I see that you played some wide receiver at North Crowley as well. Did you primarily only play safety coming into your senior year, or how did your positions kind of work for you playing all throughout high school?
All right, so I'll start freshman season. I kind of played. I was a both way. I was a two-way player. I played some wide receiver and mainly some DB, and then on to my sophomore year, I kind of started just working at DB, like cornerback, strictly cornerback, And then I was corner sophomore and junior season. Well, no, just sophomore season. And then that's when I transitioned to safety because like I'm just too aggressive at the line and stuff. So I just really love like coming down, hitting, or just being a ball hog throughout the area. I can still play some man on man though, and that's a lot.
Kind of the comparison. I watched a lot of your tape on Huddle the last few days. You kind of remind me a lot of like an Earl Thomas type, where you just flat out get lower. You just get low. With playing that safety position, was it easier for you to kind of open up and see the field better than playing corner?
Oh yes, sir, for sure. That's what I love, man. Yes, sir.
What other schools, if I didn't miss any, did you visit? Because it kind of looks like you visited most of them, didn't you, that you got offers from?
No, sir, not at all. Actually.
Oh, okay. Did you only come up to Wazzu then and take a peek?
Yes, sir.
You had your mind set ready to rock and roll, huh?
Yeah, a little something like that, a little something.
What was your recruiting deal like? What was it like when you got to come up and see everything?
Oh, it was nice, man. Everything, like, when I first got there, shout out to Chapo, my man, Chapo. Shout out to Chapo and Taylor as well. When I first got out there, it just felt like home, Great atmosphere to be in, very chill. I'm a very chill person, introverted person, so it was nice to me, get to kind of go up there and just focus, straight focus.
Do your thing.
Yes, sir.
What are the main differences that you really, really like from Pullman compared to Fort Worth? Obviously, Fort Worth I've been down there actually, and that's a very massive area, and I'm from small town Washington, so I'm just outside of Pullman, a lot smaller actually than Pullman, but what does it draw us? Because I know for me personally, it's kind of anxiety filled for me when I get around massive areas. What was the main differences that you were really looking for Fort Worth compared to Pullman?
Really just, my main, like, I don't really, like, care too much about population of somewhere or, it's just, like, the feel of comfortability and just the love of the people, and that was just it for me, And I really love, I can say that I really love the cold, too, as well. I do. It sounds crazy that I'm from Texas and I love the cold, but yeah, I do love the cold.
If you like the cold, it was a crisp 32 degrees up here all day today, so you'll get your fill of it for sure. The state championship, or pardon me, I'm jumping the gun on my own deal. Oh no, I guess I'm not. So the state championship game, not state championship, but it looks like a semifinal game when you guys played Westlake. Looks like you had an incredible strip off of Westlake running back Elijah Clark. Were you dialed in that game the whole time? Because the film I saw on that Westlake game, you were just everywhere.
Yes, sir. I was locked in, man. That was a big game for me and just everybody. We had something to prove. I was trying to get to the ball every way I could. 11 hats to the ball. I was really trying to fly to the ball that game. Yeah, man, that's a good one.
I like hearing that too because you probably saw the game Friday. I mean, there were some issues here and there. I won't get too much into the game Friday, but seeing somebody that comes from that atmosphere of, like you're saying, 11 hats to the ball, it really gets me excited from a fan perspective of, hey, we're going to have another hard-hitting safety that's going to come in, and if he's not at least making the tackle, his hand's going to be on him the whole time so everyone else around him can come and wrap up, and that's awesome to see. Your tape alone on seeing you play safety and come in is absolutely exciting from my perspective to watch you come in and play. Growing up, I would make the assumption, being from Texas, what your favorite NFL team was, but I'm genuinely curious. Do you have a favorite team? You have a team you root for down there?
I do. And it's actually the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, okay. Nice little change. Okay.
I'm trying to stay loyal. It's rough times.
Yeah, you guys were absolutely incredible the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
I'm a Hawks fan, being it from up here, so I get to watch consistent 9-8. So, What does it mean, though, for you to be able to play that state championship game at AT&T Stadium? Because some of the quotes I was seeing, that sounded like, I mean, regardless of that is where your guys' game was played, it sounds like it's more than just the state championship game and getting to play down there. What was it like, and what did it mean to you to play at AT&T?
It was, man, it's like a dream down here, man. You know, it's really like tough, like competition. So we really had to work into that point. So, you know, when we got to get there, you know, it was just, you know, I don't even know, man. It was just crazy. I'm at a loss of words. But yeah, that's an amazing feeling just for the community to come out, you know, my family, friends, people that you maybe haven't even seen in 5 years coming to watch you play, you know, or maybe even just watching it on the TV. That's a big deal too.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's an incredible stadium. I just watching the tape again from your guys' state championship game. It's even jaw-dropping for me to be able to watch that, like you're saying, on the TV, because, I mean, that stadium's incredible. I couldn't imagine what it was like, and I really wanted to ask that question because that is such a magnificent stadium down there. So I want to roll into some of the stats. North Crowley, you guys finished a perfect 16-0. You were 6-0 in district play, and then you guys ranked third nationally at that point. I did see that you guys played 4 non-district games, and it sounded like you guys picked 4 of the toughest opponents that you could get for those 4 non-district games. And not only that, you guys did have a couple close games, it looks like, with only Lancaster and DeSoto, but then you guys kind of put the boots to Geyer and Rockwall. Take me through at least Geyer and Rockwall, and then I want to talk about DeSoto and Lancaster after. But Geyer and Rockwall, you guys didn't really have competition from what I saw.
Yes, sir. So kind of those games, you know, we just came out and dominated, followed coach's plan. You know, that's what we always got to do. You know, follow coach's plan. That's it. That's all I can say.
Lancaster and DeSoto, though. DeSoto was the early pick to be able to take out Duncanville at the beginning of the season, and you guys shut that conversation up real quick. But you guys did have a 6-point game against them, and it looked like an absolute thriller with 108 total points scored in that game. Not only that, you had 6 total tackles, a pass deflection, and an interception in that DeSoto game. For what I saw, everyone was locked in, but kind of roll me through DeSoto and at least the last quarter where you guys were neck and neck.
Yes, sir. So that whole game was just, you know, neck to neck crazy, man. They have a great quarterback, Keldon Ryan, and just some great offensive wide receivers and even, like, their running backs, you know, just nice. But what really, like, during our game, what really, like got into us the most was just their run game for real. Like, Keldon, like, he had a pretty nice game against us. I'm not gonna lie.
Kind of all over.
Yeah.
And then I guess let's talk about Lancaster as well. You guys were on NFL Network. That game was, I don't know if, well, you probably didn't know that, but yeah, broadcasted. It was the Jerry Jones Classic. And then that was kind of another game from safety with 7 total tackles. That's a lot in a game. Run me through that one, because, I mean, that had to have been quite the exposure for you, not only being able to play in a tough game week 1, but also having it broadcasted the way it was. Because I watched that game on NFL Network, and that was a fun game to watch.
Yes, sir, most definitely. You know, first game of the season, my comeback game. You know, I haven't during that game I haven't played football since like week 10 of my junior season, and that's due to like other games like playoffs. You know, so that was week 10 the last time I played, and that was my comeback game. You know, I had to you know, pop my name a little bit.
Yeah, you made your presence known big time.
Yes, sir.
The rest of these games, these point totals are absolutely crazy. So, obviously, the first 2 games, it was an 8-point win against Lancaster, a 6-point win against DeSoto, a 21-point win against Geyer, and then we get into just absolutely ludicrous numbers. A 53-point win against Rockwall, a 56-point shutout against Mansfield Legacy, And then 59-point win over Lake Ridge, 66-7 was the final on that guy. 62-6 against Weatherford, 56-point win there. And then you guys go to Boswell and win 67-0 in these district games. I mean, that's unreal as a defense that you guys were just. You didn't really have, from an outsider looking in. I don't. If any of the guys from these teams are watching, I apologize, but that offense could not keep up with any of your defense. Period. What were the game plans going into those games where you're able to dominate like that?
It's just coach, man. He has a great mind, and then he has other minds, so they all just come together. But again, like what just all leads to that, we have great chemistry. We trust our offensive guys. Chris Jimerson, he leads those guys, so they are great, man. They do what they got to do, put points on the board, and we just go out and stop so they can get the ball back in their hands.
And it looks like too. I mean, you guys are. I would imagine with that many points being scored, you have a great opportunity for your offense to give you guys a lot of breaks in between. So, I mean, it looks like to me that you guys were able to just step back on the field fully refreshed and just keep going.
Yeah.
After Boswell, we've got Mansfield, a 48-point win there. You guys go to Crowley. I would assume that that's your guys' rival for the most part in district, is Crowley. Again, a 44-point win against Crowley. What is it like with rivalry games like that? Because I know up here in our hometown, well, my hometown, we don't like our rivals. We don't like the school across the way. So was that a big must-win for you guys?
Yes, sir, for sure. It always has been. Every year we just kind of dominate them. But it's just cool to play. Some guys you grew up with. Some are, even friends, family, it's just great all in the end, And even like now, Coach Gates and Coach Lynn, they close, so that was actually fun,
Oh, good deal. What is the distance between the two of you guys? And then where does it kind of lie with not only the distance portion of it, but how does it change from school district to school district where you go to North Crowley and then others go to Crowley?
It's just kind of all the same school district, CISD, but as far as distance, we're not even that far, like 5 to 10 minutes away, so it's pretty close to each other.
Is it kind of a preference deal then, whether you go to North or you go to Crowley?
Yes, sir. It just kind of like all depends on where you stay at, certain area,
Okay. Then we get into Byron Nelson. You guys beat them by 34. This one was cool for me. I'm sure you probably hear this quite a bit, but you beat the Friday Night Lights team by 58 points, 72-14 the final. And it looks like Permian came to you guys, correct?
Yes,
Have you
sir.
gotten to play in their stadium and go to their school before?
No, sir, not at all.
Oh, okay. Then we got Copel. Is that how you say it, Copel?
Coppell, yeah.
Coppell. You beat them by 11. That one was a closer game. Looks like they kind of had, I wouldn't say their way on offense, but at least enough to make it competitive. What was the difference in that game for you guys where they were able to kind of put on points, but you guys stay ahead ultimately in the end?
Yeah, yes, sir. Just to kind of like go back into the beginning of the season. Like we haven't like played some real competition in a while, so them boys really came out and they were hungry just like us, but that just didn't have quite enough fight for us, So we just fought it out into the end, and that was a battle. I will say that was a battle.
Yeah, it looked like a fun game. You guys go in, you beat Allen 35-7, another 28-point win. And then here's the game I really want to talk about because not only I've watched probably 3 or 4 videos on this game, and then I saw that you guys had a pretty well-off famous YouTuber come out and fully videotape that game. His video was very good. You guys beat Duncanville 36-34, and this game is really where I want to hear where you were the entirety of that game because that one looked like it was just shot after shot on both ends where you guys were able to check yourselves, not only on offense but defense, and then they were able to do the same. But run me through that game because there's a lot that went viral from that game.
Yeah, man, it's just all about mindset and how like you gotta lock in. That's what everybody was on. However you gotta lock in, that's what you gotta do, man. Just like the state championship, the whole community was out there. Even on Duncanville side, that's a great game. Duncanville versus North Crowley. Everybody wanted to see that one, man. But yeah, just preparation and fighting it to the end, fighting through adversity. That's just what we had to do on defense and offense, So it was a good game.
It looks like that was really the Texas State Championship.
Yeah, yes, sir. Everybody was saying that, yeah. I even said that myself.
I did watch a bunch of highlights from the Westlake game, but yeah, like I said, I mean, that was a slugfest, a true slugfest.
Mm-hmm.
You guys go to AT&T Stadium. You win by 29 against Westlake. Run me through the emotions of winning your first state championship.
Man, it was just so crazy, just seeing everybody's faces, But the feeling just ain't. I don't know. It just didn't hit me yet, man. It was just too crazy. But I really that was just a dream come true, man. I don't even know.
The photos I got to see on your Instagram, as well as the photos I saw on Max Preps, everything of it, it looked like, I wouldn't say early, but pretty early, that you guys knew right off the bat, this is done, this is over. When did you know that you guys were going to be state champs? Was it the first quarter? Was it the first 10 minutes?
I would say for me, at halftime.
Knew it was over.
Yeah.
So some stats for you that I thought were just incredibly interesting. I wanted to leave this as notes. You guys had 6 wins by 50 plus, 8 wins by 40 plus, and you guys had 12 total wins out of 16 by double digits. Locked in all year. Incredible high school season. Hats off to all of you guys. What a way to finish out your year. And then especially to the seniors that you guys had. I mean, hats off to all you guys.
Yeah,
your guys' points differential was a plus 549 with 832 points scored with only 283 points scored against. Hats off to that defense as well. I mean, you guys were just lights out. That is awesome to see, and I know the numbers probably don't really mean anything to you for what the massive accomplishment was there at the end, but I really wanted to kind of highlight those 4 points, and hats off to all of you guys. That is absolutely incredible.
Yes, sir.
Number 22, has that always been your number?
No, sir, not at all.
What led you to 22?
So originally, when Coach Ray Gates came, that's the number he just assigned to me since sophomore year, so I just stuck it out. Cause I'm not a really big person on numbers, and I don't want to switch my number every year, so I just stuck out with 22. I just had to make it pop.
Yeah, there you go. Are you coming in? I know the page for Washington State has you listed as a safety. Is that the position that you signed to come down and play at?
Yes, sir, most definitely.
That's pretty cool then. So it's kind of your first year really cementing yourself at safety, and D1 offer another position for you. Do you think that you'll ever have the opportunity to play any corner? And if you did, where would you prefer to play at corner?
I would kind of prefer I would prefer the nickel type, more of an inside type of corner, But yeah, I really I would say that I'm versatile, so maybe you would see me at corner sometimes. That would be nice.
Yeah, well, especially with a lot of, well, I guess we're thin entirely kind of in that secondary as a whole, but I'm excited to see where you're going to be and where they're going to stick you. 2024, you're a first-team safety. 2023, you're a first-team safety. What do those honors mean to you, especially down there in Texas, where, football's a religion down there?
Yes, sir. Just, it means to me that hard work and preparation could lead to greatness, So I just kind of be humble about it. But when you just tell me out loud, man, I really honor it and respect it, though.
It's a huge accomplishment. Hats off to you. Great accomplishments for you. not only seeing your numbers, but as a person getting to have this conversation with you, I am beyond excited to see what you're going to do when you get down here and you're in crimson and gray. Gets me super excited. I got a couple questions about some of your teammates. So Quentin Gibson, I'm sure you were probably aware that I was going to ask some sort of question about Quentin. District MVP, Texas Player of the Year, signs, in my opinion, to pretty much go be a Travis Hunter replacement in Colorado. Absolute incredible athleticism. What does it mean to have somebody like that you get to practice against every day at practice?
Man, it's crazy, man. That's my boy, man. That's my dog. We really just got real close, like during like the summer for real, and before that a little, played a little 7-on-7 together. That was my boy. But yeah, it just means it's crazy to see him blow up and stuff, and I really love that for him, man. He's at the UA thing this weekend.
Oh, right on. He did receive an offer from Wazzu. Did you try and poke him at all? Hey man, come with me.
Yeah, actually he was supposed to come when I came, but I think that's when they had Jack come, so that's why he couldn't come. But they didn't really want to tell him that's why, but I had to tell him that's my boy.
Yeah, conflict of interest type deal.
Yeah.
Anyone else at North Crowley get an offer from Wazzu that was a senior getting ready to go up there with you at all that you could think of?
No sir, just me and Quentin.
Oh, right on. Quentin had a viral clip. I'm sure you saw it. I know everyone saw it, where he absolutely planted. Forgive me if I say the name wrong, but Decorian Moore, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Absolutely planted him. What was it like watching that on the sideline? And did that just get everyone fired up and ready to play?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I didn't even really notice it until after the game. Everybody kept on reposting the clip, but that was just crazy to see, man.
Well, and he's a 5-star commit to Oregon. You got a 4-star commit to Colorado. It just had the makings for something that was going to be viral. That was incredible clip. Jabril Asbury. He was your guys' defensive MVP.
Yes, sir.
What was it like playing with somebody like him? Because everything I saw quotes-wise was he was a true team captain, someone ready to take on the field and be a leader on the field. What was it like getting to play with him?
Yes, sir. He's just, like they said, a leader. He's very strong and very well-spoken, So that's just a great guy. He plays sideline to sideline through 4 quarters. He like a real great dude. But to me, he's like an underdog. He keep on I don't really know if he likes the FCS schools, but I'm like really interested to see where he'll go in February.
Where did he get recruitments and offers from? I was really trying to kind of research him, because really once I started researching you, it just wound into a massive rabbit hole. And I had a lot of fun doing a lot of research on Javon. I had a ton of fun with him, but there was an absolute rabbit hole with researching you. Where's he kind of looking, and don't give me any information, obviously you don't want to share, but where is his offers kind of lie?
It's really like his top offers, I would say, is very FCS, maybe Lamar or I don't know if it's Towson or something.
I'm not very knowledgeable in FCS, but
yeah,
you very well could be right.
Yeah, and I think he had they go by East Texas A&M now, but it was Texas Commerce.
And this is the quote I was telling you about that I wanted to get into from Ray Gates. Ray had said this about Jabril, and I want to know if it fits him. He says that he is a true schizophrenic type of nature that you look for in a football player. He is nasty and aggressive on the football field, and once he is off, he is laid back and down to earth.
Yes, sir, that's very true, man. He's very laid back, but he has his times where he get hype and he turn up. But yeah, for the most part, yes, sir, that's very true.
That was a legendary quote. I've read that, and I couldn't help but include it in this because I was like, wow, that's a quote from a coach. I would be very flattered kind of hearing that. You also had Cornelius Warren, who's getting ready to go play FBS ball as well. He decommitted from UNLV. I don't really want to ask a whole lot of questions about him, but what was it like watching him up the field and run that way, knowing, I mean, you guys had a ton of talent on that offensive side getting ready to come and play FBS ball.
Yes, sir. So, Cornelius, man, he just does what he does. That's been a man since freshman, sophomore year. He was really like the Quentin Gibson of our team, but Quentin just kind of blew at the right time. But that's my boy too.
Because Quentin had most of his offers came his senior year, didn't they?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What does it mean to you to have had the opportunity to play for Ray Gates as long as you did?
Man, it's just, it's great to see how something like, as far as programs could like change, and I just stuck with him, man. I ain't ever think about leaving, I just stuck with Coach Gates, and it was great.
That's awesome. I asked you about the loss to Duncanville. All right, so kind of new information I got for you. Coach Jimmy Rogers just got hired on to take over Washington State. He has a 27-3 record with one national championship as a head coach, one as a defensive coordinator down there at South Dakota State. He was hired as head coach in 2022, and he has 2 full seasons of head coaching experience under his belt. His 3 losses are actually quite impressive. I don't know if you know who his 3 losses are, but he's lost twice to North Dakota State, which obviously North Dakota is getting ready to play Montana State. And then he lost to Oklahoma State, an FBS school. What is your kind of first thoughts about the hire, and where do you think you're going to fit in with a defensive-minded coach?
Yeah, so about the hire, man, I don't know how to feel, but we spoke with him yesterday and stuff. I kind of like the way he keeps his mind, and he's pretty, to me he's pretty chill and welcoming. So it should go great. But as far as him having a defensive mind, like I really like that, because down here in Texas, North Crowley, Coach Gates has a great defensive mind too. So hopefully he could do what he does.
Without getting too much into his information on, I mean, obviously I don't want to poke and pry for any information from your Zoom, but what was your initial feeling, and what do you think that this is going to lead for you in the future?
I feel like, just greatness is coming, especially with, this class of 2025 that we have coming in. And even if some of Coach Rogers' players come in, it's just all great. And then, we just got to go be Cougs.
That's it. Who, with the current incoming recruiting class, are you close with?
So I would say oh my God, man. I can't really say that I'm close to someone specific yet, but all of those are my guys. I really like Luke Webb. That's my boy.
I'm excited for him as well. He's another one I'm really excited to.
When I went up to Washington State, he was actually there, man. He's just hilarious, bro.
Oh, is he? Funny guy?
Yeah.
With you being an introvert then, did he kind of get you to open up a little bit with just the comedy then and how he acts as a person?
Yes, sir, for sure.
And then, do you have any relationships with anyone currently on the team?
I did, but they hopped in the portal. Adrian Wilson, Boogie, and then when I went up there, CB was a great dude, and then my boy, Buh. Yeah, Ansel, my bad. Ansel.
Oh yeah, down there at TCU now.
Yes, sir. His mom is actually my mom's doctor.
Oh, no kidding! Yeah, small world type deal.
So yeah, that was just crazy.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys that entered the portal. A lot of them I know that I'm gonna sorely miss, but Boogie is one of them. I can't wait to see what he's gonna do taking on, and I expect him to take over down there at Arizona State. So I'm excited for Boogie, and same thing with Ansel at TCU. A lot of those guys, no matter where they go, I'm still gonna be supporting them big time. With the recruiting class, obviously we had a couple players flip, a couple pull out of their financial aid agreement. This is more of a Coach Dickert question than anything, but Steele decommits and then commits to Wake Forest. He follows Jack Foley down there. What is it like having that conversation with Coach Dickert, and obviously what is the draw to that guy? As someone who's never gotten to really meet him other than what I saw in the news conferences, I absolutely loved hearing everything he had to say. I enjoyed it. What is that person like now that he's kind of out the door? What was he like as a person, and what was your main draw to Coach Dickert?
Coach Dickert was great, man. You know, he just really brings and like he persuades you, and it was pretty nice, you know, just having small and long conversations with him. You know, he's very wise, I would say, and you know, he's just a great person, you know, to just talk to even, you know, and he really does, and he really cares about, you know, just the little things. So yeah, that's great.
He seemed like he was a real player's coach, and everyone who did have him seemed like they genuinely liked to play for him.
Yes, sir.
I want to get into a little bit more about Coach Rogers. Coach Rogers has coached at least one 100-tackle linebacker in all but his 9 years in the position. He became the sole defensive coordinator, like I said, in the 2022 season, and then helped the Jackrabbits defense lead the FCS in rushing defense and interceptions while having the third lowest points allowed. He was the FCS Coordinator of the Year that year, and then they went on to win that national championship, beating North Dakota State. In that process, they beat Mercer, Villanova, and Albany by a combined score of 123-12 to advance to that national championship game. When numbers like that, it reminds me entirely, and I wanted to add that in there, of your guys' defensive scheme with Coach Gates. Obviously, he knows how to shut people down. Where does that kind of get you excited, at least on the aspect of the defensive portion of it? And what scheme do you think you fit in best if you were to identify yourself in a scheme?
You know, I can't really identify myself in a scheme, you know, but I'm really I'm really versatile, so it don't matter what scheme he throws at me, you know, I'm going to be able to adjust and adapt, you know, so that's just great. And, you know, even when you are saying like some similarities, you know, to my defense that I, you know, Coach Gates and Coach
Coach Rogers.
Yeah, Coach Rogers, you know, Coach Gates and Coach Rogers, you know, those are great. That's great, man.
Other than that, I have one quote that I really wanted to ask you at the end. So Kyle Thornton, at the end of the Holiday Bowl, says it's easy to keep track of the ones who don't want to be a part of the team, but the Cougs the Cougs who want to be Cougs, they're a little harder to find, but they're in there. Would you consider yourself somebody that fits that quote?
Oh yes, sir, for sure. Yeah, I feel like even like in life, you know, it's easy to figure out like who wants something and who doesn't. You know, it's easy to me.
Your total stats for the end of the year, I want to go through them. 27 total tackles, 21 assisted tackles, 4 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and obviously the one came against DeSoto. That was a big one. But where did your other interception come from this season?
It came against Permian.
Okay. Thank you all for taking the time to watch my interview today with Gaylon. He is a player with extreme class, professionalism, and integrity. Please not only rally around him, but show him all the love and support us Cougs fans know how to give. Not only that, but give him a follow on his Instagram. I'll make sure to tag that here in the bottom of our video right here. Thank you, Gaylon, for taking the time to sit down and talk with me. I pray for safe travels, and I'm excited to see you ball out in the spring in a Cougar uniform.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.